So basically, the message here is if you don't look like Gwyneth Paltrow, you're cooked. What's up, people? Welcome back to another episode of Stars and Garters. I'm Katie Pettit, and yes, this is the singular episode that I am putting out this week. I can hear your cries of anguish through the screen, but don't worry. It's okay. It's gonna be okay, I promise. So I am here today for a random FANDOM Friday. And hopefully I will get back to posting more next week. I might have a little bit more time, and I'm kind of I'm excited for the next Marvel Monday because the next in the series, the non-comics history series, is X-23. So that should be interesting to talk about. But that's not what we're talking about today. Today I've got kind of an interesting topic. I hope all my topics are interesting, but today it's not what I usually, I guess, talk about. So I would say that I don't really give too much negative reviews of stuff on this pod. I haven't talked too much about stuff that I just hate. I've talked about the video games, the TV shows, and the movies, and the comics that I love, and I'm not really, I've mentioned not being into a certain video game franchise. Sorry, Zelda. Sorry, Judah. And I've mentioned things like that, but I haven't talked about really the things that I just really do not like at all, perhaps even hate. So, and since we could all use a little bit more hatred in our lives, don't do that. That was a joke. Don't hate. That's bad. I have compiled a list of movies that I call my never again list. So these are the movies that I have vowed to never ever watch again. I have two categories of why I shall not be partaking in these movies again. So the first category we're going to look at is just for being bad, for movies that I just thought kind of sucked. They just I just did not enjoy myself at all watching them. I thought they were not well made or just dumb or whatever. So that's the first one, and then I also have a second category, movies that I will never watch again for being sad, because I don't like that. I don't like it when the movie makes me sad. Sometimes, if the movie is really, really good and it has some kind of sad parts, then I guess I can get through it. But if the movie is pretty good but also really sad, then I just kind of avoid it altogether. So yeah, because I can't do it. I don't like the sadness. So yeah, that's that. Those are the categories, so let's jump right on into it. So, like I said, first we will talk about the movies I will never watch again for being bad. Now, the first movie, it might be a little hard to describe because I was it was a long time, an actually pretty long time ago. I might have been 10 when I first watched this. That's just a guess. It feels like a really long time ago. Maybe it wasn't even, but I feel like it's significant to me because I feel like I was too young to comprehend not liking a movie, kids don't typically critique movies or anything that they watch. They're just colors and shapes. So because kids are stupid. So I feel like I was not at the age where I should even have been able to really dislike a movie, but still, I watched this and my tiny child brain was just what the heck did I even just watch? Except I wasn't allowed to say heck, so I probably was just wow, that was dumb or something like that. But it is a movie, and I saw it, my memory was stirred because I was going through the movies at our library where I work, and I was looking at them, and I saw this movie, and I was like, oh my gosh, and I read it, and I was trying to see, maybe it wasn't as weird and crazy as I remember it, but I read the description, I was like, nope, that's what I remember. So, the first movie that I will never watch again is the movie Big Trouble in Little China. So, if you don't know what this is, don't worry, neither do I, but I don't remember too much about the plot. I remember redneck karate. I remember girls with glowing eyes and glowing mouths, and just like general chaos. So I think it was supposed to be some sort of like maybe comedy, hopefully comedy, like martial arts movie. But like instead of being kind of like cringe good, like some type of old like campy martial arts kind of movies. Like we just watched one together. I can't remember what it was called, but it was really cringy, but it was hilarious. This one just like didn't make any sense and it was weird. I just like it's about this redneck truck driver guy, I think, and he finds this like martial artist or something and they go like to this underground something or other where there's like a wedding and there's like the spirits and there's the eyes are glowing and there's like I don't know what it was but like I remember just like not like just it finished and I was like what but what was that about, like what was that movie, like what did I just do for like an hour and a half. I think like I just watched moving shapes, like honestly. Cuz like that's, for a kid that's almost enough, but even we dumb children have to have some semblance of something happening. And this was just huh, craziness and but like not even enjoyable, just like I want to be doing anything else right now because I don't know what is happening and I don't think I ever will. So I feel like even then as a tiny little child, I feel like after I watched that movie, even as like a 10-year-old, I was like I'm never going to watch that movie again, which again is not something a 10-year-old is normally going to think about a movie of any sort, unless it's like scary or something. But like, I feel like even at that age, I decided that I would never again watch that movie. So even though I don't remember much about it, I still have no desire because I just remember the utter confusion. If there's one thing I remember about the movie, it's just that I was utterly bamboozled at the end of it. Just like I don't even know what just happened in that entirety of the thing. Like literally, there was no semblance of something. It was just throwing things at my vision. So I still am never going to watch that again. Pretty safe to say. All right, the next one. I know it. My family disagrees with me. As far like I'm pretty sure my brothers and my dad do. Definitely my dad because he showed it to me. Well, he also showed me Big Trouble in Little China. I don't know his thoughts on that though, but I'm pretty sure he likes this movie. We had actually been wanting to watch it together for a long time, and we finally did get to. I don't know why I did my glasses, but we finally did get to watch it uh, together, and I was like, I was pretty excited for it. I was like, okay, Jack Black comedy, right up my alley. Pretty like one of my 10th favorite movie of all time is School of Rock, so Jack Black comedy, usually a good combination. Also, Jack Black's only combination, as far as I know. But um, I watched this one and I was just like, the whole time, I was like, kind of ticked. Like honestly, that was the main emotion. I was just like angry at this movie for existing and also for thinking it was doing something good. Like I was just like I was mad. I was mad at this movie. So the next on my never watch again cuz it's bad movie list, we have the movie Shallow Hal. Now, the basic premise of this movie is Jack Black is this really shallow guy named Hal and he likes women. But he only dates like the really hot ones and blah blah blah. And he meets this dude. I can't remember who the dude was. But this dude like changes him somehow to where he, instead of seeing what they look like on the outside, he sees their inner beauty. And so, it's about him, I guess, learning to like them for their inside instead of their outside. And so, fine premise, right? Um, Unfortunately, the premise was executed by men. I'm like, is this what we like, is this what you think is encouraging to us? Because like at the end of the movie, I was like any woman that doesn't look like Gwyneth Paltrow is gonna feel a little sucky after that movie, because the problem is that the beautiful inner beauty is Gwyneth Paltrow. Because it was clearly communicating that her outside was not beautiful at all. And the inside was tall and blonde and skinny, and but because that's beauty. So you can see why I might take issue with this. Um, like, it was just, I don't know, maybe it worked for some people, maybe the message came across better. And maybe some people just enjoy it as comedy. Like, I'm not gonna be mad at somebody for enjoying this. Like, I'm not gonna be mad at somebody for enjoying any of these. I'm not gonna be mad at somebody for disagreeing on my movie taste. But for me, it was just, it was not executed well. Fine concept, but like, it would have been better if it was done by like women. Honestly, it's just like, I was so mad. I was so freaking mad the whole time though, because it was just like riddled with fat jokes, and I'm like, are you trying to uplift women? Or are you trying to say that this is what you should look like? Like, I don't understand. You're doing a very bad job, and you're taking me off. So I did not feel good at all at any point in this movie. Even when he like stops having to see their inner beauty and sees her for what she really looks like, and he's like, oh, you're beautiful. I'm like, okay, bull crap. Because the entire, like, okay, all of a sudden, and then they keep making fat jokes even after that, and I'm just like, like okay, this I all right, we can stop watching this now. This movie's over. I want to go do something else. I would like to forget about that experience, please. So, I did not like it at all. I did not feel good at any point during this movie, and I think it was a poor choice. And I'm pretty sure, like, I've read multiple places say that Gwyneth Paltrow regrets doing the movie because, like, it's just bad. Like, it's just bad. It's just poorly done. It's not good, in my opinion, and I don't ever want to watch it again. I don't ever want to be that angry at a movie for existing, and so I'm just gonna avoid that one completely and just watch stuff that doesn't, you know, make all women compare themselves to Gwyneth Paltrow. So I I don't think that was done well, and I did not enjoy it. I think my brothers and my father enjoyed, my father, what is that? My dad enjoyed it as a comedy, and that's fine. I just hope they weren't like learning things from that, because they were not going to be learning the correct things. um so yeah, if it, like, it's a fine comedy. It had some funny stuff, like Jack Black's funny, but it was dumb and I hated it. So I'm never gonna watch it again. All right. Last, actually, in my not watching it because it's bad list is a weird take. Or, I mean, like, a weird pick. I don't know how well, I'm pretty sure it's a popular movie. As far as you can say, like, old movies are popular, it's hard to determine. I guess, but uh, we we had a song for this on my. I did this like kind of quiz bowl competition thing in a few years of my school, and we had to memorize certain songs, and I memorized a song from this, and I knew nothing about it. And then I went to go see the movie with my mom, and there, like, we had been going to see a series of like older movies because our theater was like doing really cheap prices to just see like some older movies. And so we would go to a few of those, and most of the ones we went to were just utter nonsense and ridiculous. Like, like very similar to Big Trouble in Little China, actually. A little less crazy. Like, there was some semblance of a plot, but like, I would, I mean, I might have even put them on this list, but like, I can't remember their names. I just don't know what was happening. Um so it was kind of another one in the series of this. So I kind of came into it expecting to just be confused and weirded out. And just like, be like, okay, another really weird old movie. But this one, it starts out really good, and it continues to be good throughout most of it and to make sense, which was shocking. Uh, and then at the end, it crashes and burns stupendously. So, this movie is called My Fair Lady. It is starring Audrey Hepburn, and it's about she plays this like poor, what's the word? What's the word for the really like obnoxious British accents? Is it Cockney? Is that the word? Um, I'm not sure, but she plays like a poor like that thing British lady, and this like super stuck up rich British guy is like comes into where she is, and he's like, I think all of you poor people talk so badly, and I talk really well, and I'm very good at speaking. And then he like kind of bets one of his friends or something, like, I bet I could teach one of these poor people how to speak correctly in so and so amount of time. And so he takes her, Audrey Hepburn, that's her name, right? Audrey Hepburn, he takes her, and he just like emotionally abuses her and like tortures her, and like is so terrible to her throughout the entire thing, trying to teach her how to speak correctly. And then she finally, makes progress, and she's able to speak a more, you know, typical British lady kind of, way. And so they do like a final test or something, and she performs really well. And then the guy like gives her no credit, doesn't mention her to any of his friends, is like, "Oh, I did it. I did the thing." And like literally doesn't mention anything. Um and so she gets obviously very angry at him and tries to get away from him, and she meets this other guy, and it looks like they're gonna get together and go away from the jerk and have a nice life together. And then for some reason, at the literally the very end of the movie, for like no reasons explained in the movie, like it ends, she's going with this nice guy, and she's gonna go get married to him, and then all of a sudden it just cuts to the jerk guy. He is like, he has started to like her, but he still won't treat her right because he's a jerk. And so he's like just complaining and moping and sitting in his chair like, oh, why did she leave? Women are stupid. And she comes back to him, and she's like, she wants to be with him, and he literally has not changed at all. Literally the last thing he says, the last thing in the entire movie, he sees her, that she's come back to him, and she's like, where are my dang slippers? Except he doesn't say dang or something like that. And that's the end. That's the end of the movie. I like, if Shallow Hal made me mad, this, like, it was a little easier because I was kind of already mad from the beginning when I saw where the premise was going. This one, I was like, okay, this is gonna be good. Like, she's been emotionally abused by this man, and she's gonna leave, and she's gonna get a good life for herself, and she's gonna use the skills that he's taught her, but like for her own good and not to serve his jerky purposes, and it's gonna be great. And then, like, in 2 minutes, they completely ruined everything that the movie had done. Literally everything was just destroyed. And the guy, the jerk, again, he like doesn't change. Literally nothing about him changes. And he's such a jerk that like his mother, when Audrey Hepburn's character is like planning to leave him, his mother like sings a song about, and like joins in the song, and he's like, yes, please leave my son, he's awful. That's how bad he is. His mother is like, yes, get away from him, he's so bad. Like, please don't be with him. And it's just like he has a song where he's basically just singing about how women are terrible and should be more like men. So like he's not a good person. He's very terrible, and she just for no reason at all. Like, she was happy with the guy. Like, I don't understand what they thought they were. I don't understand what they thought was they were like teaching or doing, even like what was the point of that? Like, if a guy emotionally abuses you for his own selfish gain, gives you no credit when you win him, things and do good things for him, and just treats you awfully, tries to force you to be with him because he can't explain why he likes you and thinks he deserves you and stuff, but is still terrible to you, and you find a really nice guy, go back to the terrible one, because, you should. Like, I'm sorry if I don't think that's a great message. And when I got so mad, like, I was walking out the theater, and, well, like, after the movie ended and we were, like, getting up to leave, people were, like, clapping, and I'm like, what? For what? What are you clapping for? I don't understand what was good about what just happened. And my mom, I was so, like, I was so mad at this movie, and my mom was like, you're such a feminist. And I was like, what do you mean? I was like, I don't think it's feminist for, like, you to not be with an emotionally abusive person. Like, oh my gosh, it's so stupid, like, so bad. I was so angry. Like, I went in and I told my dad, and I was like telling everybody how terrible this movie was, in my house at least. But then I didn't want to talk about it, and I was like, let's think about anything else right now, because I was so ticked. So, even though it's a really old movie, I guess it gets a little leniency or whatever. It just, I still reserve the right to be angry and hate it and never want to see it again as long as I live. Unless I just, like, end it before, like, just 2 minutes, or literally in 2 minutes. Like, I don't know why they did that. It's just 2 minute scene that destroys the entire movie. Like, if I just stop it 2 minutes early, it'd be a fine movie, honestly. So maybe if I was to do that, I could watch it again, but I don't know if I could just overcome the anger of knowing how it actually ends. So yeah, I don't want to ever watch this movie again for the reasons. Wouldn't recommend it either. So I don't recommend any of these above movies. Now, these movies we're about to get into are actually pretty good movies. Some of them I would even say are great. However, as I said, they are sad. And I'm pretty sure every one of these movies has made me cry, and I don't like that. And it wasn't good enough, it wasn't quite good enough to make me want to endure that again. So even though they were good movies, like, I just don't want to do that. I don't want to do that again. So, this is my movies that I will never watch again because they are too dang heck sad. So, the first movie is pretty funny because I did watch it again a few months ago after I had said, like, I'll never watch this again. I was like, man, it was a really good movie though, let's watch it again. And then I remembered, there's that dang heck scene. And then I was like, yeah, I can't do it. This is the last time. And I'm probably lying to myself because it is a really good movie. The first one on the list is My Girl. So, big spoilers if you don't know. It, like, follows this little girl, and, like, it's not the main point of the movie, but, like, she has a best friend. He's Macaulay Culkin, actually, and he's adorable. I think it's, like, before Home Alone. He's so cute. And they're best friends. Thomas J, I think, is his name, and, like, they're just the bestest of friends, and they like, have their cute little first kiss, which is, like, a little, and it's so cute and so bleh. And so she gets, like, a mood ring or something, and she drops it in the forest, and Thomas J has a lot of allergies, and so he runs back into the forest, but he gets attacked by bees, and then he dies. And, like, it's that's sad, but, like, it's the famous line that comes after that, when she runs into the funeral, and she goes up to him and she says, where are his glasses? He can't see without his glasses, but he's dead. She doesn't say, but he's dead, but, like, that's like the famous line that everybody is just like, it hits so hard, and it's so freaking sad, and I can't do it. So that one scene, like, I cannot get through that scene It's so freaking sad, and I don't like the way that it feels. So I don't want to watch this movie. Hopefully, I will not be forced into watching this movie again because I'm definitely not watching with anybody outside my family because I know I can't do it without crying. So I hopefully will not watch it again, even though it's a great movie. And if you're fine with crying, then you should definitely watch it because it's so good. But I hopefully will not because it's very, very, very sad. Also, if you haven't seen it, I did just like spoil it for you, so it might not be as sad. So sorry. Excuse me. That wasn't I wasn't about to cry or anything. I just had a thing in my throat. Anyway, all right, 2 Disney movies in a row after that. You know, I like Disney. And a lot of Disney movies are really sad. The Lion King, Mufasa's death is so sad, but it's my favorite, and I would watch it anytime. But these 2 movies do something for some reason that's just like it hits a little too hard. And I actually have not watched these in like forever. Like I'm sure I watched them over and over as a kid, but like that's what children do. But now like I can't do these movies again. So the first one, I'm so sorry, Mom, is Up. Yes, I know it is a very good movie, but I really haven't watched it in years and I don't plan to go back to it. So like if you can get past the first like few minutes of Up without having some sort of mental breakdown, like good job. I envy you cuz that's I mean, it's so like when I first understood what was happening, I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is awful." Like I mean, and the rest of the movie is really good and it's fun and it's not that sad again. But like I can't do I can't do that first few scenes. I can't do it. I don't want to do it. I can't even remember that much about the plot because I've stayed away from it for so long because I can't do the first few minutes. It's too much. Um like I I just can't do it. It's too sad. The movie is like not. It's a good movie, but it's not quite good enough for me to go back and go through that again because it's so freaking sad. And yeah, basically. And then the next one is Tarzan, actually. I don't know why this one, like, hits so hard. Like, because there's so much, like, early deaths of, like, parents and stuff in Disney movies. But for some reason, it's just, like, the combination, that, is that the word? Oh my gosh. I'm having an aneurysm. But it's the combination of his parents getting killed and just seeing the little baby just all alone. But then the baby gorilla that dies. It's just too much. Like, I just I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like, what do you want me to do in this scene? But it's not just the scene, because screw you, Phil Collins. What gives you the right to manipulate my emotions with your dang music? Like, the song that plays, like, I can't listen to the Tarzan soundtrack. I'm sure I've said this before. I cannot listen to the Tarzan soundtrack either, except for Trash in the Camp, which slaps, and I'm pretty sure was on my favorite songs list. Um, but I can't because it's so sad. And I just think about the scene, and I'm just like, ugh. And it's the first thing you see, and it's just awful. And I don't care how good the movie is. It's too sad. If I like I could probably do Up and Tarzan if we just skip those parts and I just pretend that the circumstances happened some other way than how they did, to avoid the sad part. So, I don't know why those two, just like those specific scenes, are things that, like that is a typical thing to happen in a Disney movie, but for some reason those two really hit hard and are just too much, and I don't want to see it. I've also stayed away from Tarzan for so long. I mean, it's a pretty simple plot, so like it's not as much to remember as Up, I feel like, so I remember what it's about. But I still have really stayed away from it for a very long time, and I don't plan on coming back to it anytime soon because I have stuff that is not quite as soul crushing. I mean, most Disney movies are sad at some point, but like for some reason these two are just too stabby the soul. So yeah. And then the last one, it's like it's I know so many people who really love this movie, and I like this one is more. I don't know if I would really love to watch it if it wasn't so sad. Because I don't. The movie itself, I don't really like. Other than the sad parts, like Up or Tarzan. Like I'm not like, oh, it's a great movie. Just darn the sad parts. Like I don't know if I would um really want to watch it even if it wasn't that sad. But I know a lot of people really love it, and so if they want to watch it, I'm actually like fine, because it just, I don't know, it's different, but it's still on my never again, because I would never choose to watch this um again. Like it, and I put it on the sad category because it is so sad, but like also it's just, it happens to just not be my thing either. But it also is terribly sad. So the last one we're gonna talk about is Les Mis, and I cannot for the life of me pronounce the actual word. So Les Mis. It's the musical, the French musical about like the French Revolution, question mark, I think that's what it's about. I'm not sure, and I know a lot of people love it so much. And let's just like get this out of the way. Obviously the performances are incredible. Like it's like I mean, I don't think you can really dispute that. It has, everybody is really basically amazing. I know Russell Crowe gets a lot of hate for his voice in that. It didn't bother me. Like I didn't think he did bad. Like I've seen it on like worst performances ever in musicals, but I don't know why. It didn't strike me as anything terrible. But besides that, they're like all incredible. I didn't even know Eddie Redmayne could sing. So that was cool. Uh I mean, it's very good performances, but first of all, the music isn't really my preferred style of music. It's very operatic and drama. But like it is obviously a very depressing movie, and it's like I just don't enjoy it because like there's no happy parts. Like there's kind of the romance thing in there between Cosette and Eddie Redmayne. Which, but like even that part I don't really like, because I like the other girl better. But then she dies, of course, and then the child and the mom and the all of the soul, like everyone died, like all the people are dead. Even Hugh Jackman dies at the end. So just like it's like everyone is dead, and I have not been happy for this entire movie. And I feel like nothing is paying off, and I'm just depressed, and I'm like, why is the world so, like, I just don't, I find like even when the singing is incredible, I'm just like, but everyone's dead. So I it's hard for me to enjoy your singing right now, because like all of the people have died, every single one of them. So just a little too like straight up depressing. It's not necessarily like the others were more like it just like karate chops your soul. This one, it's just like more of a lingering depression all the way throughout. It's not just like a super hard hitting moment. It's just like lingering sad, sad, death, depression. Everything is bad. Kind of deal. So I would never choose to watch it. So I think it gets a spot on this list. It's just like if somebody wanted to watch it, I would. Because this one specifically I can get through it without like crying or anything. The other ones I can't. So I would let somebody watch this if they wanted to. Cuz like with Up and Tarzan, you can be like, "Why don't we watch a different Disney movie? There are so many other ones." So, yeah. But that is actually it. I know it's only 7 movies. I told you I'm not a hater. I like, it's really weird because like I kind of consider myself a pessimist about most things in life, but like with movies and stuff, I am not really. I tend to be like a lot more positive, I guess, than my like most of my friends about movies. Like I like a lot of movies that a lot of people really don't like. So I don't know. It is a short list, but there is a list. I have my limits. I have my standards, and these are the movies that do not meet the limits/standards. So, there you go. Alright, that is all. Thank you for watching. Make sure to tell me if you have any movies that you will never watch again, or if you were deeply offended by something on this list. I would love to hear that in the comments. Make sure to like and follow and subscribe and share, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.